beautiful people in the chat. Let's let everyone know that we are live. It's going to be dark in here for just a second. We are live. Toss out a few notifications there. There we go. All right. Let's see who's going to get first in chat today. Let me pull up my comments real quick. Comments. There we go. All right. I believe we are good. What is up, guys? What's up? Brian first in chat. What's up, Brian? Sam, Ghost. What's up, guys? Welcome, welcome. An afternoon stream. Usually we're either extremely early or extremely late, so this is different. What's up, Zoe? We might see some new faces in here. What's up, Sick? Welcome, dude. I'm third. Yes, third. Brian got first today. Sam in second. Ghost in third. What's up, Tony? Welcome, dude. Hey, man. So happy to hear about your success, for real. Seriously, so happy to hear about your success. Keep it up. Didn't even pick any of our suggestions. There was like one suggestion, all right, and it was from A, who said talk about your favorite food. So hey, come on. Haven't caught you live in a while. How you doing, Wonder? I can't read today. What's up, Olivia? It's a night stream for me. Yeah, that's right. For some people, I guess it is all sorts of different times. You know, I forget. I forget that time zones exist. All right, I forget. Hey, Wonder Bro just got back from the pub in sunny UK today. What's up, Mark? I hope you enjoyed it, dude. Hope you enjoyed it. What's up, Abel? There was some more after that. I must have missed them, but hey, we still got a good topic. We still got a good topic. Don't worry, we still got a good topic for you today. Anxiety recovery, less thinking, more doing. That's what we're going to be talking about. New one that will be better. Why are people unhappy? I mean, that's a good idea. That's a good title for a future stream. I'll keep that in mind. We might use that one. What's up, Perp? Welcome, dude. Chat's already filling up, man. Like there's really no need to wait around today. There's like really no need to wait around today. We've pretty much already got a full chat. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started. Get rid of this. Thank you. All right, guys. I guess we're just going to jump right into it. Anxiety recovery, less thinking, more doing. So the problem, right? And well, actually, let's start. Hold on. Why didn't I clear? Yeah, we have not hit the tip goal today. I didn't clear it from yesterday. My bad. All right, so let's start today's stream with a little fact that we love to talk about here on the channel. What is that fact? You're going to know it as soon as I say it. Worry equals anxiety. So this is something that we've really been preaching about here recently. We've been preaching about this worry equals anxiety thing for like the past 2 or 3 months, which is basically what we've always been preaching about, second fear, right? What is worry? Worry is second fear. What is second fear? Second fear is worry. So worry equals anxiety. Worry activates the stress response, right? And like I said, we've been driving that home. We have been driving that home. You're probably sick of hearing it. We've been talking about it so much here recently. But the thing about it is, the reason that's so important is because the number one thing that people want to do when they become sensitized, when they have tired nerves, when they're dealing with a ton of anxiety, is to try to use their thinking mind to overcome it. That seems like the natural thing to do, right? If I'm sensitized and I'm having a ton of negative intrusive thoughts, and these negative intrusive thoughts are causing physical symptoms, then logically I'm going to think to myself, okay, well, I need to get involved. I need to get involved with my thinking mind and try to put an end to this. So that's what people do. They go down that path of thinking, try to get rid of it, try to get over it, try to use my thinking mind to get myself out of the situation that I'm in. That seems like the logical thing to do. And unfortunately, that's the route that most people take, and they don't even realize that worry equals anxiety. So as they sit there and they try to use their thinking mind to overcome anxiety, they create more of it, right? So we've got a lot of people doing a lot of thinking, aka worry. A lot of thinking, a lot of worry. The thoughts come, they add the thinking. The physical symptoms come, they add the thinking. This is the route that they decide to take. However, we know that worry equals anxiety, so the cycle just continues, continues. Now, that brings me to the point of today's stream. All right, that brings me to the point of today's stream, which is less thinking, more doing. Less thinking, more doing. If you truly want to overcome this anxiety cycle, if you want to break out of this anxiety cycle, right? If you want to retrain your brain, reprogram your brain, teach your brain that all as well, you can't do it through the thinking, right? Because if that were possible, none of you would be here. We would be able to just sit down and say, okay, brain, okay, amygdala, everything's fine. Don't worry about it, right? And then that would be the end of the story. We'd all move on with our lives. That is not how that works. There is no connection, right? There is no wiring that you can use to tell the amygdala, okay, it's all cool, right? So when it's triggered, these thoughts are there. These feelings are there. You jump into the thinking mind. You're not only wasting your time because the amygdala is not listening, right? But you're also keeping yourself stressed in the worry cycle. So that is why the title of today's stream, Less Thinking, More Doing. If you truly want to find your way out of the anxiety cycle, if you truly want to break out of the anxiety cycle, we have to start speaking the brain's language, the amygdala's language. What language is that? Chat. Living life. That's why the two main keys are what they are. So the people, out there who recover are the people who do less thinking, right? And I'm not saying you're not going to have a ton of intrusive thoughts. Those are out of your control. I'm not saying you're not going to have a ton of physical symptoms. Those are out of your control. But the people who recover are the people who do less thinking and more doing. Less thinking, more doing. Less thinking, more doing. Because they're not sending all those extra danger signals with the worry. They're not wasting their time. They're not stressing themselves out. They accept the thoughts. They accept the feelings. They live life. That's what recovery comes down to, and that's what recovery will always come down to. Less thinking and more doing. So I know it feels very natural, right? It feels very natural to want to jump up into the thinking mind, try to use the thinking mind to think your way out of the anxiety cycle. But that's what keeps you in it. I know it feels very natural to want to jump up into the thinking mind. Okay, I feel this way. I'm having these thoughts. What can I do about this? What can I do about that? It feels natural to want to do that. And that's what everybody does at first, right? What is that? What is that, chat? That is worry, and we know that worry keeps the stress response alive. So, what are the two main keys? Stop fighting with all the thoughts and feelings, aka stop worrying, adding the worry over the thoughts and feelings, and live life, right? Because now you're speaking the brain's language. Now you're speaking the only language that the brain understands. Pure experience, pure experience, right? So it feels very natural to want to use your thinking mind whenever you feel a certain undesirable way. It feels natural to want to use your thinking mind whenever you're having undesirable thoughts, right? But what does that do? Keeps the stress response activated. So now, knowing what we know, we have to get to a point where we get you to do less thinking. Now, the thoughts might still come, the feelings might still come, but we're not attaching a bunch of thinking to it, right? So we need to get you to the point where you do less thinking, more doing. Now you're speaking the language of the brain, right? Now you're speaking the language that the amygdala hears, right? It's deaf to everything else. It's deaf to everything else. All you're doing is sending extra danger signals when you do all this worry, right? Right? So, now we're speaking the language that the brain understands. Less thinking and more doing. The longer you worry, the longer you add the worry to the thoughts, to the feelings, and you do it, I know why you do it. You do it out of an attempt to feel better. But I promise you're not going to find a solution, not up there. You're not going to find an answer to all these negative intrusive thoughts, not up there, right? The longer you add this worry, more tired you become. The longer you add this worry, the more you send those danger signals. The longer you add this worry, the less progress you're making, right? So you have to make a conscious effort whenever you notice this worry to spot it and stomp it out. So if you're sitting there now and you've got these thoughts and you're up there debating with them, you got to hold yourself responsible for that and you got to stomp that shit out. You got to be like, oh, there I go. I'm doing it again. You know what? Screw it, right? Same as if you're sitting there with a ton of physical symptoms and you're up in your head doing a bunch of worry. You got to catch that. You got to make that your responsibility. You have got to catch the worry habit, stomp it out, and get back to living life. This is the way that works. This is the language that the amygdala speaks, right? All else is just very stressful and serves to keep you in the cycle, right? So less thinking, more doing. Less thinking, more doing. The thinking will never help you. The thinking will never help you. It's very tempting to do. It feels natural to do, but you're not going to come to any conclusions. There's nothing to discover. There's no truths to discover. So not only are you keeping yourself in the cycle, but you're wasting your time. See, a lot of times we do the worry because we believe that there's going to be something to discover. There's not. There's never anything to discover. There's never any truths that you're going to figure out about your anxiety and your thoughts and feelings when you go so deep with them, right? You do it because you think there's some sort of reward at the end. Not only does it keep you in the cycle, but it's a complete waste of time because you're not going to find a reward. You're not going to find a buried treasure. There's nothing to discover, right? That's something you can remind yourself of next time you catch yourself in the worry cycle. You can take a step back and say, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're not going to discover anything. You know you're not going to discover anything because you've been doing this for weeks, months, years now. You know there's no truths that you're suddenly going to think of. You know there's no reward. You know there's no buried treasure. You can stop and ground yourself when you notice yourself giving into the worry and say, what the heck is the point, right? You can ground yourself by bringing yourself back to reality and asking yourself that question. What are you doing? You're wasting your time. Yeah, you feel like crap. Yeah, you're having a ton of negative, intrusive thoughts, but the thinking's not going to help. So why even do it? Why even waste your time? You're still going to feel like crap. You're still going to have the thoughts. You're still going to have the symptoms. Why get involved in the thinking, right? So that's something that you can remind yourself of, right? And now we can start to let go of that thinking. Now we can start to let go of that worry. Allow ourselves, right, to feel the certain crappy ways that we feel, to allow ourselves to have the thoughts that we're having, but not waste our times with the worry, with the thinking, right? And that's a good way to do that, to kind of ground yourself and ask yourself, okay, yes, I feel like crap. Yes, I'm having negative, intrusive thoughts, but I also know that the thinking's not going to get me anywhere, right? Right? So I'm just going to cut that out because what's the point? Right? At least I can conserve a little bit of energy here. So you can kind of look at it that way. What's the point? Ground yourself. Catch yourself when you're doing it. Okay? What is worry? Second fear. Now, after you've done that, after you work on doing that, what's the next step, chat? Anybody know the answer? Live life. Live life. There is no point in doing the worry, so we cut the worry. We know that that's keeping us in the cycle. We know that there's nothing to discover. We're not going to gain anything from doing it. And then once we make that little intervention there and we work on doing that, you might have to rinse and repeat that, right? Catch that habit. We get back to living life, right? Two main keys in a nutshell right there. Now you're speaking the brain's language. Now you're showing it through pure experience that all is well. I just burped. Now you are speaking the brain's language, right? So the worry serves to keep you in the cycle, and then there's no action. You're not showing the brain that all is well. So we need to cut the worry and then do whatever the heck it is we want to do. No matter how we feel, we're going to show the brain that the trigger, that the alarm is indeed a false alarm. Okay? The amygdala wants to be sure that you're safe. That's why you can't just get up here, blah, 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 and convince it. You're just keeping yourself in when you do that, right? You can't just get up here and convince it. There's no point in doing all the blah, 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 right? So we cut the blah, 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 and we live life. Now you're speaking the amygdala's language. Yeah, right? Now you're speaking the amygdala's language. Okay? So less thinking, more doing. Now you know that the thinking is pointless. Now you know that the thinking that you add is stressful. Now you know all this. Now you know all this. Has to be less thinking and more doing. Your too much worry is keeping you in the cycle. And you know that, but yet you continue to do it. Right? Right? You know that, but you continue to do it. Why? Because it's a habit. Because it's a habit, a very strong habit at that. A very strong habit at that. You know that you've got to cut the worry and live life because it's pointless and it's stressful and it's keeping your nerves tired. You know that. Why do you continue to do it? You continue to do it because it's a habit, and it takes work to break habits, right? It takes work to break habits. A lot of people are not quite yet willing to do that work, right? But I'm here to tell you, better to get started now than later. Better to get started now than later. You've got all the facts you need. You've got all the information you need. Let's get started, right? Let's get started. So, for example, today, after this stream goes off, if you catch yourself worrying, you can simply remind yourself, whatever, less thinking, more doing, right? Thinking's not going to help me here. It's not going to solve my symptoms. It's not going to solve my negative intrusive thoughts. There's no point in me doing it, right? There's no point in me doing it. This is the kind of grounding that you need. This is the kind of little accepting reminders that you need. So once you make that little bit of intervention and you start to work on breaking that worry habit, then you just get back into doing. Get back into living life for you, not for your anxiety, right? Now, I don't make the rules of the game. I just teach you how it's played. I don't make the rules of the game. I just teach you how it's played. And that's how it's played. So with that information, what you do with it, completely up to you, right? You can make excuses. You can try to run around it. You can try to tiptoe around it. But at the end of the day, no matter how many excuses you make or no matter how much you try to tiptoe, that's the rules of the game and it'll never change, right? So with that in mind, where do you want to go from here? With that in mind, I believe you want to get started, right? Right? It takes work. It's not the funnest thing in the world, I'll admit, but it's worth it. It is absolutely worth it. All right, you guys. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed the point of today's stream. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to switch on over to the post stream. There we go. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you take something from it. Most importantly, though, as we always say, most importantly, I hope you use it, man. I hope you use it. If you're not using it, there's no point. If there's not using it, there's no point. I'm a specimen who didn't do the work in the first 2 years. Now, when I have done it correctly, I'm very angry at myself for choosing not doing it and being afraid. Start accepting today and heal. Don't be too hard on yourself. I'm glad that you finally got the message. You finally got the idea. You finally started to use it. Don't be too hard on yourself for having the information and not using it. It happens. Nobody's perfect. So yeah, don't be too hard on yourself. But congrats. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself. It's awesome that you finally started to get it. That's great. Let's see, who else we got in chat? Let's get some music going. Love the content, slowly getting my head around the concept after watching many of your videos. The not seeking reassurance is tough, but no pressure, let's get it. You got it, dude, you got it. Sometimes it does take, a repeated effort to get the idea, but you got it. Yeah, sometimes the chat acts weird, guys. Sometimes the chat's just, it's weird. It disconnects and everything like that, but all you gotta do normally is just refresh the page. I don't know why it does that. I wish I knew. Let's see. How long do symptoms hang around for? How long? I can't read today. What's up with that? How long do symptoms hang around for after you're no longer adding fear to them? Time frames, irrelevant. Time frames, I can't answer that. Everyone's different, right? But if you're worried about how long they're going to stick around, are you truly no longer adding fear? No, you're not truly no longer adding fear. You're still adding fear, right? So if I'm not adding fear to something and I ask the question, Jesus Christ, when are you going to go away? I can't stand it, right? Am I truly not adding fear? Right? We've got to be honest with ourselves here. But even if I could answer that question, which I can't because everyone is so different, right? I probably wouldn't answer that question because we need to ask ourselves, are you truly not adding fear if you're worried about how long they're going to stick around? Right? That's my question to you. That is my question to you. Let's see. Long time no see, Mr. What's up, AC? What is up? It has been a while. How are you doing? Wonder Bro, I'm here. Sanchez, we literally just... It's okay. We literally just finished the point of the stream. You're fashionably late. Hey, but, you know, or, depending on your perspective, you're right on time. All right? I don't know. We just finished the stream. Well, the point of the stream we finished. Happy early birthday, Truth. What's up, Mint? What's up, Excalibur? Good to see all these familiar faces in here. We should start streaming around this time more often. I've been good, AC. How you been? How have you been? No way is that the same Lucy. It is. Believe it or not, Lucy has graced us with her presence after being gone for so long. I'll rewind after the stream, bro. Hey, sure thing, Sanchez. It's good to see you, dude. Hella people in here today. There really is. I was looking at like my stream stats yesterday, right? And it said like around noon was a popular time for people to be on YouTube. So I was like, you know, I'll stream around noon today, see if I can catch up with everybody. Seems like this is a good time for most people. So I don't know, maybe we'll stream around this time more often. Hope all is well with you, Hank. Bruh, it's been so long. It really has, dude. It really has. Hey, what's up, Mike? Did you enjoy the boxing match last night? Dr. Claire Weeks talked about the strange feeling when you're almost cured but not yet. She talked about how something around 2 months to get fully, I cannot read today, fully cured, but only if zero fear is added. You know, then again, though, everybody's different. So if you're going to be worried about time frames, then you defeat the purpose. You see what we're getting at? The goal is to remove that worry. So we definitely don't want to worry about time frames. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. How can I get my sense of self back? My intrusive feelings distorted my values. Also have fog and numbness. Forgot how I used to be, and I miss how I interact with things I love. How do you get your sense of self back? Stop trying to get it back, right? Live your life. Accept that you have the thoughts that you have. Accept that you have the feelings that you have. Don't add the worry to them. These things will naturally return. So you're getting too involved. Involvement is the problem because involvement leads to what, chat? Worry. Worry keeps the stress response activated. So instead of asking the question, how do I get this back? How do I get that back? Let's drop the worry. Live life. Accept that we have the thoughts that we're currently having. Accept that we have the feelings that we're currently having. Our goal is to not add worry to them and just live. And as we do this, we will naturally get our sense of self back and our emotions and everything else as a consequence of recovery, right? Does that make sense? So less involvement, less how do I do this, how do I do that, because that's all just good old-fashioned worry. Less involvement, less worry, work on that, and live. And naturally, as a consequence of recovery, these things will start to come back. He never said he recovered out of nowhere, but, hold on, I'll tell you exactly what he did say so that we can clear up any sort of miscommunication here. Make sure you're not talking about someone different. Yeah, he never said that he recovered out of nowhere. He said that he did the work, right? And he said once you give up the fight and start doing what you want to do, no matter how bad you feel, and no matter how high the anxiety is, prove to yourself that there is no danger and you will be okay, right? He said you're going to feel like crap. Don't get me wrong, it sucks, but you are standing in your own way. So he's saying stop fighting with the thoughts and feelings, which means stop doing the worry and just live your life, right? Definitely didn't happen for him just out of nowhere. He had to put in the work, and you do too, right? So I just wanted to clear that up. No, there's no way around doing the work, chat. You better get started now. There's no way around it. There's no way around doing the work. You got to do the work. Stop looking for the fucking miracle. It doesn't exist. You got to do the work. You got to do the work, chat. Why not get started now? Drop the worry. Work on breaking the worry habit and live your fucking life, right? The sooner you get started, the better. Stop looking for the miracle. It doesn't exist. Been recovered for a while now. All of you can do this. Hey, man, that's awesome to hear, Excalibur. You've got to get started, chat. You've got to get started. There is no miracle. There is no miracle. What better time to get started than now? If you notice that you're worrying, stop that shit out. Rinse and repeat. Always stomping that worry out. Adopting that accepting mindset and living life. Let's get it. Let's get it, chat. Let's get it. Let's see. Frill it is. I'm very grateful. It's so awesome to hear, Excalibur.
I'm Glenn Youngkin, candidate for governor.
Oh boy, an ad. Really? Seriously? Thank you, Wonder Bro. Absolutely, Purple. Absolutely, dude. I'm healed. I was scared and sick 24/7 until it faded. Do exactly what Wonder Bro says, and it works. 100%. Believe it's anxiety, and that alone speeds up healing very fast. I went all shit left fast. So yeah, there's definitely the possibility of a quick recovery. No, it's not going to happen instantly, but you can make a quick recovery. Mint, thank you so much, Mint. That kind of scared the crap out of me. $20 tip from Mint. Wow, Mint, thank you so much. 42-day streak. Woohoo! We got to keep this man paid so he can continue sharing his wisdom. Man, I'm about to just quit if I can't figure out how to read today. Mint, thank you so much for the $20 tip. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, can we show Mint some love in the chat, please? Spam those emotes. Let's get it. Let's get it. You got to do the work. You absolutely do have to do the work. Absolutely. Like I was saying, yes, you can have a quick recovery. Yes, it can happen what seems like quickly, not instantly. There's a difference between quick and instantly, right? There's a big difference between quick and instantly. You can have a quick recovery, maybe not instantly, but you can have a quick one, right? But we're not worrying about that. We're not worrying about the time frame because the whole goal is to drop the worry. Worry activates the stress response. So we're not worried about whether it's quick or not. I'm just telling you that it's possible. I don't want you to go off and worry about it because that's not what we're trying to achieve. That is the problem, right? Everyone see what I'm saying there? So a quick recovery, yes, possible, right? There's people in chat that are proof of that. But it's irrelevant. We're not going to worry about it. It's possible, but we're not going to worry about it. Let's see, we've got another tip coming in from Sam. Sam, thank you so much, dude. I believe that was, let me check. Let me make sure. Sam, yes, Sam with the $20 tip. Thank you so much, Sam. I appreciate you. We're moving on, man. We are moving right on. Shout out to Sam in the chat, guys. Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate it. 42-day streak is just absolutely insane. I don't know what else to say about that besides I'm so thankful. Thank you. Sorry I'm back. What's up, Tony? Welcome back. You can't read? No, I cannot read today for some reason. I'm just getting tongue-tied. Healed or not, we are mortal and we have to leave one day. It's terrifying. It's terrifying because that's the way you programmed your brain to see the subject of death, right? Taken from someone, aka myself, who used to be absolutely terrified of the subject of death. You know what got me over the terror that I felt when I thought about death? Allowing myself to feel the terror without trying to stop it, without doing the compulsions, without doing the worry. Okay, I've got these thoughts. I'm terrified of death. I've got intrusive thoughts about death. I'm feeling terrified. Accept it. Don't try to change it. Don't try to worry about it. Don't add the worry. Blah, blah, blah this, blah, blah, blah that. Then you just tell the brain that these triggers are worthy of making you feel terrified. If you sit through the terrifying feelings, if you sit through the quote-unquote terror, and allow your thoughts to do what they will, and allow your feelings to do what they will over whatever your trigger is. If your trigger is over death, health, anxiety, whatever your trigger is, if you allow it without trying to fight with it mentally, worry about it mentally, you just say, okay, there's these thoughts, there's these feelings, and just live your life while it happens. Your brain learns that these things do not deserve to make you feel terror. And that's what we call erasing a trigger. That's what we call training the brain. So you might not be able to fathom the idea of being a person that is not triggered over death. But guess what? If you accept the trigger, don't mentally fight with it, and just live with these thoughts and feelings, live your life and stop trying to fight with them, aka add the worry, you will teach your brain that you are not a person who is terrified of death. And then when these thoughts do come, they're no longer accompanied by triggers. Wow. That's what we call retraining a brain. That's what we call teaching a brain what we want and don't want to make us feel terrified. And that's the only way to do it, to see it right through, as Dr. Claire Weeks called it, right? So you might not be able to fathom the idea that death will never scare you, right? But you'll get to the point where it doesn't. I'm walking proof of that, because that used to be a triggering subject for me when I was sensitized, right? Now I could care less. How do you think that's possible? It doesn't take a miracle. You just have to retrain your brain. How do you do it? You see it right through, as Dr. Claire Weeks called it, which basically means Dr. Claire Weeks called it see it right through. I call it you got to shut up. You got to shut up, allow the thoughts, allow the feelings, and then just live your life. Show the brain that these things do not deserve the alarm, right? And then you become the person you never thought you could become. There you go. There you go. That's it. That's it, but you got to do it now. That's it, but you're going to have to go through it now, right? I drink iced tea. I've never been a fan of iced tea, to be honest. How you doing today, Sanchez? I've been dealing with this since January, so it wasn't that quick. Yeah, Tony did not at any part in any way on his Discord messages say that he just snapped out of it in a day. He had to work for it, right? He had to work for it. You got to do the work. So probably just a misunderstanding there, but Tony did indeed have to put in the work, but he did, and now he's getting the results. So that's how that goes. Absolutely, AC. You can slip up, but you can get right back on track too. I knew what to do for 6 months, but I started actually accepting 2 months ago when shit fell off real quick. Yeah, so a quick recovery definitely possible, but we're not going to worry about it either way, right? Yeah, following the content, aka worrying about it, right, Perp? And that's what keeps these triggers alive. You're giving them the fuel they need. You got to sit through the thoughts and feelings, allow it to happen, and then your brain will learn. And that requires no arguing and just seeing it right through, as Dr. Claire Weeks called it. Yeah, definitely not an overnight thing, Tony. You had to put in the work. You should be proud of yourself. Absolutely, Tony. Absolutely, dude. You should be proud of yourself for sure. Yeah, I mean, the subject, the topic of death used to be a trigger for me when I was sensitized. I eventually just accepted it, stopped fighting with the thoughts and feelings, lived my life. Now it's not a trigger for me. So now when I think of the topic or subject of death, the only thing that really concerns me is I want to die a cool way. You know what I mean? I don't want to die something stupid. I want it to be cool. I want to go out like fist fighting a grizzly bear or something. I don't know. As long as I go out in somewhat of a semi-cool way, then that's cool with me. But knowing me, it'll be something really boring and stupid. Absolutely, Mitt. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. I said earlier, I have thoughts coming every day like a routine. And I'm afraid they might influence me. So that fear, that worry is still very much there. So you're still doing the worry, and that's okay. Like, this is not an overnight practice, right? And if the answer is yes, it's time to start responding to these triggers with fuck it instead. But how? How? The how part is up to you. Do you want to live miserably or do you want to break free? That part's up to you. So the how part, how do we respond to these thoughts and feelings with fuck it, and we face our triggers and we teach our brain? How do we do that? Right? I'm pointing at what you got to do, but how do you do it? You got to make a choice. It's not so much how, it's a choice. It's not so much how do you do it, you already know how to do it because you've got the information. I gave you the information. The how part you already got, right? And now it comes down to a choice. So it's not how, you already know how, right? But now it's a choice. Do you want to break free or do you not want to break free? And once you suffer enough, you'll make the choice, right? So it's not so much of, Wonder Bro, how do I do what you're telling me to do? Well, you already know how. I've already broke it down for you as simple as I can, right? So it's not so much a question of how do I do it, Wonder Bro. It's, Wonder Bro, how do I get to the point where I make the choice to do it? And you get to that point when you've had enough, right? And now that part's up to you. That has nothing to do with me. That part's up to you. When you know that you're ready for a new life, when you know that you're ready to overcome these things, then you'll make the choice. You already know how. You just need to make the choice to do it now. I can't convince you to do that. That's a very personal matter. Normally what happens is people suffer enough that they finally do it, right? That's normally how it goes. I know for myself personally and a lot of people in chat, we knew how, we just wasn't doing it, and eventually we started doing it because we got sick of living the way that we are living, right? So it's a very personal choice at that point. So, facing your triggers, allowing your thoughts and feelings, which are very uncomfortable and very intense, but facing these triggers without fighting with them mentally, right? You already know how to do that with the fuck it attitude. It's not fun because you do have to face very uncomfortable symptoms and thoughts. But facing your triggers, it's not a matter of how because you very much already know how. It's very, very simple how. But actually doing it, that's going to come down to a choice that you have to make for yourself, a choice that you have to make for your life. You have to get to the point where you say, okay, I've suffered enough. You have to get to a point where you say, okay, I want this bad enough. You have to get to a point where you say, okay, I'm ready to live, right? So the how part is very simple. How? When you have these thoughts and feelings, don't get up into your thinking mind and add the worry. Just keep the attitude of fuck it, dude. Just let it happen. Just let it happen, right? Right? And then live your life. So the how part's very simple. How you face triggers, how you train the brain, very simple. Actually doing it though, that's something that can't be taught. That's something that can't be taught. It just cannot be taught. Making the choice to do what you have learned here is not something I can force you to do. It's not something that can be taught. It's a very personal choice that you have to make because you're ready to live a new life, right? I can try to encourage, I can try to motivate, I can tell you how to do it, but I can't make you do it, right? That's a personal choice. You're just overcomplicating it, right, Mitt? You're just overcomplicating it, overthinking it. Thoughts come, negative intrusive thoughts come, fuck it. Feelings come, fuck it. No, it's not fun. Yes, it's extremely uncomfortable, right? But to get up there and run in mental circles, oh my gosh, it's gonna be hard to pull you out, right? But let me tell you this: you're not gonna discover any truths, right? You're not gonna discover anything you haven't already discovered. Live how you want to live, right? And when these thoughts and feelings come, stop investigating. Stop investigating. Because you can see the investigation, aka the worry that's happening currently. Well, if I don't do this and I skip a meal or blah, 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 too deep, we're 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 too deep, right? And that is a hamster wheel that never stops turning. I did great for a week, then boom. Well, you can't expect your brain to just, overturn this whole thing in a week, right? You did great for a week and then you became triggered again. Why didn't you say to yourself, okay, more practice, more chances to continue retraining these pathways, instead of looking at it like I did great for a week and then quote unquote boom? No, 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 no. I did great for a week and then I had some fear pathways that I had to retrain. And now I'm going to take advantage of it. There you go. That's the winning mindset, right? So you see what we're getting at? Everybody see what we're getting at here? You're all making progress. You're all doing great. We just need to keep you on board. Stop investigating. You're too deep. Too deep, too deep, too deep, too deep, too deep. Way too deep. Way too deep. This hamster wheel never stops turning. Never stops turning. You got to step out. Got to step out. Got to step out. Got to step out. Got to get back to the basics. Got to get back to the basics. Got to make it simple. Got to make it simple. Right? Thoughts and feelings are there. If you don't want them to trigger you, you got to accept the thoughts and feelings. You got to accept being triggered. Right? Got to accept being triggered. Got to accept being triggered and live your life. Stop trying to do anything about it. Too deep, too deep, too deep. Right? Get back to the fundamentals. Get back to the basics. Sanchez keeping the Halloween spirit alive. I love it. Yeah, you've been using the live your life, but doing a lot of worry. You got to notice when you're up in your head thinking, Mint. You got to notice when you're up in your head doing the worry. Change that to fuck it instead. You got to cut that worry short. You got to cut it off, right? The thoughts are going to come, the feelings are going to come, but you got to stop the worry habit. How? How? Notice it, cut it off. Notice it, stop it. Notice it, stop mid-sentence. Catch yourself mid-sentence during that worry, cut it off. Cut the tail off. Cut the tail off. So example meant you would say, you would start to worry to yourself because I have to consciously expose the harmful thought. And once you start going down that rabbit hole, you got to go, oh, there I go again. Cut that worry off. Fuck it. Live my life. It is what it is. Not going to argue with these thoughts and feelings. You see what we're saying? You got to make that conscious effort to catch that shit. Shut it down. Well, the worry is not something happening to you. The worry is a choice that you're making, right? So you say, I feel like I've been, but I think I've been like forcing them to be quiet. So you're talking about the thoughts or whatever. Well, when the thoughts come, I mean, there's no forcing them to be quiet. They're coming one way or the other. But you got to force yourself to cut the worry short. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and at the same time worrying 100%. Yes, exactly. Watch the thoughts versus thinking stream, man. Exactly, Kate. And because of that, yes, you are. Yes, you are accepting because you realize that the worry is the problem. Ironically enough, worrying about accepting is not accepting. You got to remember the basics are, if you're worried, that's second fear. So we got to spot the worry, stomp it out. So if you're worried about a thought you just had, you got to catch that, stomp it out. If you're worried about a feeling that you have, you got to catch that, stomp it out, and then live your life. You do that, you're golden. That doesn't mean you're not going to be uncomfortable. You will for a little bit. You're still going to have the thoughts, you're still going to have the feelings, but you're catching the worry part, which is something you do, right? And stomping that out and getting back to living. Well, instead of saying, nah, this is useless, I'll think about something else, you don't have to go to think about something else. The thought can be there, but you're not adding the worry. So instead of saying, nah, this is useless, I'll think about something else, just say, okay, whatever. Just let it be there. Fuck it. It is what it is. Right? Instead of, oh, this is useless, let me try to think about something else. Don't think about that, think about something else, blah, 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 blah. Instead of doing all that, which is surely going to blow up in your face, you got to just say when that thought is there, okay, stay as long as you'd like. Fuck it. Right? Stop trying to like, oh God, don't think that, think of something else, right? Don't do that. That's going to blow up real bad, right? Right? So I'm glad you said that, because that's very clearly where you're going wrong, right? We're not trying to force them out by thinking of something else. I don't know where you got that. You didn't get it from me. You didn't get it from me. Are you cheating on me, man? Are you watching some other channel? Are you watching some dumbass? All right, because you didn't get that from me. So instead of saying, nah, let me think of something else, when these thoughts are there, we just say, fuck it, stay as long as you'd like, right? Whatever. You can be there. Okay. Man, you're definitely cheating on me, 100%, because you did not get that from me. I can't believe it. I thought, heart is broken. Heart is broken. Around here, Mint, we don't try to force them out by thinking of something else. No, ma'am. We do not. We totally allow that thought to say whatever it wants to say. We don't add the worry to it, but we don't approach it with trying to push it out and think of something else. We simply say, hey, do what you got to do, big guy. You can be there as long as you'd like. Fuck it. And then we live life, right? I'm just giving you a hard time, Mitt. I'm just giving you a hard time. You know I love you. Listen to what I'm saying, though. It's not going to be comfortable, and it's not going to be fun to accept these thoughts and feelings. You're going to want to push them out and try to think of something else, right? But that's just going to make them stronger. So I understand how maybe over time you tried to make it easier to go through this process by doing that, and it's kind of backfired on you a little bit, right? So we need to get you back into the discomfort. That sounds weird, but hear me out. We need to get you back into the discomfort of allowing these thoughts and feelings to be, right? And just living. We need to get you back to that. Well, how could you remember much, Perp, right? When you're so obsessed, when you're so worried. So you got to think of it like that. You got to think of the brain as an overused muscle. Yeah, we're definitely not trying to push anything out. If the thought wants to be there, that's fine. If the feeling wants to be there, that's fine. We're living our life while they're there. We're living our life while they're there, and we're having nothing to say to them. There you go. That's a good way to put that. We're embracing, accepting. We have nothing to say to them. We acknowledge them. We accept them. We're not trying to push them out. We have nothing to say to them, and we're living our lives while they're there. Right? That's a good way to put that. Yeah, short-term memory loss, all that good stuff. You got to think you've got a very overworked brain. It's not dangerous, but you got to think you do have a very overworked brain, so it's not going to function at peak performance exactly. As long as you're remaining quiet, right, Mint? You might have to give yourself little reminders, right? Like, okay, fuck it. But as long as you're not arguing with the thoughts and feelings and you're living your life, you're on track. Not a comfortable process, but it will lead to your brain finally getting the message. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up in about 10 minutes. Final questions, comments. We're going to be live for about another 10 minutes before we get out of here. Hit me with your final questions, remarks. We are approaching that hour mark. Tasty. Sorry, Sanchez. It is not water. It is Coke that I'm drinking. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you today. It's not a fun process, man, and I think that's why gradually over time you were like, okay, please, I need to think of something else. You didn't want to face the thoughts and feelings. Understandable, but we need to get you back to facing them, not trying to push anything away, and just keeping that attitude of, okay, it's here, and that's fine. The goal is to let the thoughts do what they want while I do what I want. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it, man. I couldn't have said it any better myself. So that's where you were going wrong. We don't want to try to push them out or think of something else. That's resistance. That's worry in itself, right? We want to let the thoughts do what they want, let the feelings do what they want while we do what we want. That teaches the brain that these thoughts and feelings are irrelevant. That teaches the brain that all is well. You got it. I couldn't have said it any better myself. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere, Mint. Now you have to do the fun part, which is go on that journey. I believe in you, absolutely. No longer fueling the fire. By allowing the thoughts and feelings, you are no longer fueling the fire. Mentally fueling the fire. Water, yeah, I'm not drinking any water. I haven't drank any water today yet, Sanchez. I'm sipping on a soda at the moment. I'm drinking a Coke right now. I don't have any Dr. Peppers currently. You got the idea, Mint. Don't overcomplicate it. Yeah, the dissecting is what keeps you worried. Let the thoughts do what they want while you do what you want. You got the idea, Mint. You just like to investigate too deeply. So keep in mind that the investigation is actually just worry. Yeah, read Lucy's comment. That pretty much sums it up pretty well. Are we gonna break the streak? I don't know. We've got about 5 minutes left. We're at 40. We're on a 42-day streak. I don't know. I don't know. Hold on to me. You believe. Sanchez, thank you, dude. Thank you, Sanchez, putting us at 42. It's so close. It's so close. Don't worry, Mint. Your decisions will rise naturally, and they'll come from a better place. Believe it or not, good decisions, better decisions, come from a place of non-worry rather than worry. So see what happens, right? See what happens. Wow, 8 more to go. I know, right? I know, right? Ah, so close. Things still going well with Wonder Woman. Absolutely. Actually, they're going very well. Mint, thank you. Thank you, Mints. Thank you so much, Mints. 44. 44. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Special shout out Mint Sanchez. Who else was it? There was someone else. Sam. I believe it was Sam. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. I was on a roll there for a minute, Travis. Yeah, things are going really well, Kate. I would talk more about it, but like I want to make sure that's cool with her first. You know what I mean? I want to respect her privacy, so I don't want to give away too much. I don't want to give away too many details. I want to respect her privacy, but things with the new lady are going extremely well, actually. Sam, there it is, dude. Sam coming in with a $6 tip. There it is, guys. There it is. That's tip goal, man. We're moving on to a 43-day streak. Just take that in for a second, chat. Just allow that to sink in for a second. That is amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Kate, Kate coming in. Breaking tip goal. Thank you so much, Kate. Thank you, Kate. Sanchez, Mint, Sam, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate the shit out of you guys. I really do. Thank you, thank you. 43. Absolutely insane. You guys are absolutely insane. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that is amazing. Show some love in the chat. That is amazing. Thank you guys. Hey, what's up, Andy? I was just checking out your Twitter the other day, dude. Hope you're doing well. Thank you guys again. I appreciate it. I'm broke as a joke. Absolutely no problem, Truth. Absolutely no problem. We've got the best system here. Everybody can still watch. They can get all the knowledge they need. You know, and if you're broke as a joke, not a problem. You're still welcomed here, right? So I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Just got done eating. Sorry, guys. What'd you have, Tony? I'm a little hungry myself. Yeah, huge shout out to Sam. Huge shout out to Mint. Thank you guys. Kate. Sanchez. Yeah, I mean, she knows that I stream and whatnot. Like, she knows what I do, and she's very supportive of it. We just haven't really sat down and had a conversation about how she necessarily feels about, like, for example, being on the channel or whatnot. So I don't know exactly how she feels about that just yet. But if it goes that way, right, you might actually see her on the channel. We'll see what happens. How do I know which voice is a good one without analyzing exactly what it wants? Stop analyzing. You don't have to. Why do you have to know? You don't have to know. Just do what you want to do. Stop analyzing. There's no need to know, oh, is this thought a good one, a bad one? There's no need to go deep with it. Thought's a thought, right? No point in analyzing. You're not going to figure anything out. You're not going to discover anything. Just do what you want to do. Do what you need to do. Do what you want to do, right? So when you start analyzing too deeply, it's when you get into a hamster wheel of worry, right? So there's no need to even do the analyzing. You're basically asking, how do I analyze successfully? Well, we don't even want you to go that far. You know, a thought comes, a feeling comes, okay. They do their thing, I do my thing, right? That's how you're going to make the most progress. That's how you're going to make the most progress. If it pops up in your head, leave it alone, right? You don't have to have anything to say to that. Now, if you're sitting there talking to yourself, thinking to yourself, worry, that's something that drags on, right? That's what we got to cut short. Thought comes, okay, right? That should, your response should be very short, sweet, and simple. Right now, I can tell you that you're doing worry, trying to figure it all out. That's you. That's all on you, right? That's a choice. So really, you would make the most progress in this moment from saying, there I go again, all this worry, thinking, right? Because you're doing it now, right? So there you go. That's a perfect example. That's not a thought. You're just worried. You're worrying. You're having this conversation with yourself, right? So that is what we call worry. Hangout stream, I got the pizza. Man, we do need to do a hangout stream. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we've done like one of those 3-4 hour streams. They're always a lot of fun though. Like, it's what I love about this community. Like, yeah, we talk about all the serious stuff, but at the same time, we're all able to laugh together and have fun. I love it. Well, that's what we don't want you to do, man. We don't want you to try to make it make sense. We want you to just stop worrying. Right? You see where we're getting at with this? Stop investigating. Stop it. You don't investigate. No need to analyze it. Stop it. You investigate too much. That's, and that's the same trait that everybody here shares. Too much investigating, too much talking, too much mental talking. Accept your thoughts, accept your feelings. Do what you want to do in the real world, right? In reality. But no need to investigate any longer. Let's retire from that job. Let's notice when we're up there doing it and say, what's the point? I'm just running in circles. It is what it is, right? That's what we want to get you to. That's the message that we're trying to deliver. Yeah, you're too damn smart, man. You're too damn smart. That's a common trait that everybody in this boat shares. They're too damn smart. They think too much. And that thinking is the worry. It keeps the nerves on edge, right? And it keeps these triggers full of power. So it's not really something to figure out. In fact, the point is we want you to stop trying to figure it out. Just accept the thoughts you're having, accept the feelings you're having, stop talking, live your life, right? I feel like everyone is getting something I don't get, because you won't stop talking. You won't stop talking to yourself, right? So you talk to yourself, oh, everybody's getting something I don't get. That's what you're not getting, is that you're still talking, right? So you get what we're getting at here. You see what we're trying to say. We're trying to help you out. So you say, I feel like everyone is getting something I don't get. You're still talking. The only reason that's making you feel the way it's making you feel is because you just said that to yourself, right? Stop talking. I'm trying to say that without sounding rude, but you get what I'm getting at. You get what I'm getting at here. You're talking too much in your own skull about this whole situation, and that is what we call worry. You'll get it as soon as you be quiet, right? That's all there is to it, right? So you I'm sure you can kind of see what we're getting at here. And like I said, I'm trying to word that in a way that doesn't sound rude, but I think you do understand what I'm trying to say, but then you start too much thinking again. So it's, it's ironic in that way. It really is. You got it until you think to yourself that you don't. That's the cycle. I can help you out. I can help you out. Bum, 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 bum. Can help you out. I can help you out. Also, guys, I don't really, I never really remind you to do these two things, but if you don't mind to give the stream a like, it really does help the channel grow, and it helps other people that need this advice, right? I can't get to these people, I can't reach these people unless we grow the channel. So take a second just to throw this stream a like. If you're ever bored and have nothing to do, go through my videos, toss me a bunch of likes. It helps. It helps, and I want to continue growing. Mint says, it makes perfect sense in theory, but let me think about why it doesn't. Stop! Stop! Stop it! Mint, please! Please, please do not investigate the theory. Please. Please, Mint, I'm begging. Mint reminds me so much of myself back in the day that it is ridiculous. I could not stop the worry habit. Ugh. Until eventually I was like, I am not getting anywhere. No matter how much I think, I never figure it out. And eventually just so exhausted. But it's funny because it just reminds me so much of myself. It's insane. Dumb it down, Mint. There's nothing to figure out. Just mental circles to run in, but you're not going to figure anything out, so don't try. Trying to figure it out, worry, trying to figure out the thoughts of feeling, that's the problem. It's all the problem. Yeah, I mean, everyone here is here because they're too analytical. Everyone here is here because they investigate too much. Everyone here is here because they worry too much, right? So to get somebody to the point where they do less worry and they just accept the thoughts and feelings and live their life, right? That takes a lot of calling them out in the moment. It's like, no, Mint, we don't want you to investigate what's being said. There's no need, right? There's no need for you to make a big theory out of this. So a lot of what we do here involves calling people out in the moment, and I don't want anyone to feel, like they're being thrown under the bus, but it has to be pointed out while it's happening, or they're not going to realize it. So, that's why I do that. That's why I do that, not to single anybody out, but in order for progress to be made, you got to be called out on, hey, look, you are investigating again. You're worrying again. There's nothing to figure out. You have to call that out while it's happening. And that's your job. After the stream gets off, that's each of your jobs. As you got to be the person that calls yourself out. But while you're here in my company, I can do it for you. But once the stream goes off, you're going to have to pick it up from there and start doing it for yourself. Anxiety's fucking, it's a weird bastard. The more you try to figure these thoughts and feelings out, the worse you feel. The more you try to figure these thoughts and feelings out, the more stressed you become. You know, it makes sense to want to try to figure it out. Like, that just makes sense. That seems like the logical thing to do. But the more you do it, the more circles you run in, and it's just, turns into one big clusterfuck. You don't know what to think, what to do at that point. So, you know. No, you're doing great, man. You really are. I mean, you're doing great. You're coming from, you know, just like everybody else, you're coming from a lifelong, you know, habit of obsession and analyzing too deeply, too much investigation. You know, this is one big habit. You're doing great. You really are. Might not feel like it, but you really are. You know, it's just sometimes you need to be reminded of what's going on here. Sometimes you got to be put back on track, and that's what I'm here for, right? That's exactly what I'm here for. I just like to put it in very blunt ways, very straightforward ways, because I want to get through to you and everyone that watches. Some people kind of confuse that for me being a bit of a dick, I guess. But if that's what it takes, right? If that's what it takes, if I have to sound like a dick sometimes to get my point across, then that's fine, because I care and I want to see you actually succeed. So, but you are doing great. You just kind of need these little reminders to stop trying to figure it out, to stop investigating. That is the worry. This is what's keeping those nerves on edge. And I know you've got a burning sensation wanting to figure out whatever thought comes next. I know it's the most tempting thing in the world, but we've just got to stop at some point. We've got to stop. And believe it or not, the more you just stop, the more clear this will all become. You'll start to give that brain a break. The more clear, the more sense this will all make in the end, right? And that's weird that it works like that, but it does. Oh, you've all made great progress and great accomplishments. Even my people out there that are not quite there yet, right? You've all made great progress. It's just, you know, it's a matter of really staying on board with it. We got to keep you consistent. And sometimes you're going to fall off, and sometimes you're going to go back to bad old habits. That's okay. I did. I know I did. You know, it happens. It happens, but you're making steps. You're making steps. Might not feel like it, but you're making steps. Yeah, there's a fine line, man. You know, you got to be patient. So if you're going to be somebody who's going to help other people out with their anxiety and whatnot, with their own minds, you got to be patient. You got to put yourself in their shoes. So in one way, I'm on the outside looking in. You know, I'm not sensitized. I don't deal with that crap anymore. So in one way, you know, I'm coming at it from a different place than you are. But in another way, I've been there, so I've got to put myself in your shoes. I know how it feels to be in that situation where this all feels all too real. And like, you have to investigate, you have to figure it out. Been there, I know how it feels. I'm not there now, but I've been there. So in one way, I've got to give you the perspective of a person who's not there. But in another way, I've got to remember what it feels like. And that's a balancing act for me, and it's one that I try to do to the best of my ability. You know, I won't lie. I'm only human, right? I'm only human. So sometimes, you know, like on the Discord, for example, if I've got somebody who has asked me the same question 10 times, right, and I give them the same response, maybe I get a little bit frustrated, right? I don't speak on that, but I'm quick to pull myself back and be like, look, you've been there, right? You know how that is. So, yeah, you know, the feelings of frustration or whatever, they might pop up from time to time, but you got to pull yourself back, because you got to remember, you know, you've been there, you know how that feels, right? So it's definitely a bit of a balancing act sometimes, but it's worth it in the end, man. It's worth it in the end to see all these amazing people make all this great progress. It really is. Yeah, that's a funny part of the equation too, Mint, because the advice really is stop worrying, live your life. But you have to go deeper than that because you've got to make it make sense to the person. They've got to understand why it works that way. They've got to understand from like a factual place why the cycle is the way that it is. It's easy to look at an anxious person and say, well, just stop worrying. And which that's true. That is true. That's one of our two main keys, basically. But at the same time, you got to go a little bit deeper than that so that they don't just feel like, oh, well, that's cliche. What do you mean, just stop worrying? You got to go deeper than that. You got to explain the cycle. You got to explain why it is the way that it is. You got to explain how the brain works. You got to do all that good stuff. Um, so it's funny in that way. That is the advice, but you got to explain it. You've got to explain it, or else the anxious person is just going to be like, oh yeah, okay, whatever, you know. So that's always been kind of funny to me, when people say, "Oh, stop worrying." Yeah, like that's true. Like you're not wrong, but if you don't explain it, if you don't explain to the person why that works, how it works, how the brain works, how the cycle works, how anxiety works, if you don't go into the details, they're not going to listen. They're just going to blow it off, right? I appreciate that, Mitt. I'm glad you feel that way. I mean, every now and then I get the odd comment from somebody who's slightly offended. They're like, "Oh, I don't like it when you get heated. I don't like it when you curse." I get those odd comments from time to time, and I understand, I guess. But at the same time, it's like, well, look, we don't have time to beat around the bush here. We don't necessarily have all the time in the world to beat around the bush and sugarcoat it like I want to see these people succeed. I don't have time. There's no time to waste. You know, there's no time to waste. So, for the people it does offend, um, I don't know what else to say besides I don't have time to waste. I got to get you where you want to be. You live one life. There's no time to beat around the bush here. You know what I mean? There's not enough time to beat around the bush. Yo, Wonder Bro, what's up, Pooty? There's my man. There's my man, Pooty. Pooty's a great example of what it's like to grab the advice and run with it, dude. Making so much great progress. Proud of you, man. Hey, Pooty, you want to tell everyone how you made that progress? You said fuck it to those thoughts and feelings, allowed yourself to feel scared, and lived your life anyway, right? So no big secret there. All right, let's get another song going. There we go. Having an amazing day today, enjoying my day with anxiety, staying here, guys. Anxiety was the best thing happened to me. I know it sounds crazy. It's always funny because when people near the end of their recovery, they always say anxiety was the best thing that's ever happened to me. That's such a common thing to hear, and that, you know, it's true though. It's true. You learn so many great skills. You come out of it feeling better than you did when you went into it. It's crazy how it works like that. Hey, I'm glad you like the Facebook page, Perp. I'm glad you said that. I never talk about my other pages. If you guys want to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Vacate Fear, check it out, guys. I try to post on there regularly. I try to post good information on there. So check out my social medias: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Vacate Fear. Spread the word, man. Let's keep growing this channel. I'm also on TikTok, by the way. I do have a TikTok, Vacate Fear, so check that out. I need to make a TikTok. I feel like it's been months since I made a TikTok, but yeah, if you do want to check that stuff out, you should. Glad you're doing so well, Pooty. It's awesome, dude.
If you're a content creator,
ad, and I didn't catch it in time. Damn it. That wouldn't be a big deal if they didn't spam my email with copyright notices every time that happens. So annoying. Yeah, I know. I need to make a TikTok. It's been, what, like 2 months? Probably not that long. The TikTok is pretty random, I'll be honest. It is, you know, there's a lot of mental health stuff on my TikTok, but at the same time, I do make other type of content on TikTok. It's like the place where I don't have to be nailed down to one subject, right? So the TikTok it's everywhere. There's just all sorts of stuff on there, which is nice. It's nice because I enjoy making content, and sometimes I enjoy making content that's not necessarily anxiety related, right? I just enjoy content in general. So the TikTok gives me an outlet to do that. Hello, Wonder Bro. Hope you have a nice day. Thank you, Kevin. I hope you have a nice day, dude. Recovery is 100% in your hands, guys. Absolutely, Pooty. That is 100% true. It's not comfortable at all, but it's worth it, guys. Please take your life back. It's Pooty speaking straight facts, man. Pooty coming here today, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna speak straight facts today, and nothing but. You're absolutely right, dude. Yeah, I mean, if you mess like, let's say you accidentally get some copyrighted content in a stream or something, if you mess that copyrighted audio up and like scream or do something, make some sort of loud noise, then it won't get picked up on like the bots that scan it or whatever. So maybe every time I miss an ad and it starts playing copyrighted crap on my stream, I'll just start screaming. I don't know. Every morning I wake up and say that's my day. Whatever comes, comes. Whatever happens, happens. And one day you will start to swing back to your old self. Yes, absolutely. So proud of you, Pooty. Yeah, you're not wrong about that, Mint. Like if you can fuck up the copyrighted crap enough, it won't get picked up on the bot, or at least I believe that's how it works. Alright guys, we are an hour and a half into this stream, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down here. It's been a good one, man. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for all that you do. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here for the day. If anybody is interested in a coaching session, reach out to me on the Discord, probably your best bet, or any of the other social medias. But until next time, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for watching. Love you guys. Love you so much. And I will see you very soon. Let's go ahead real quick. I should have had it ready. I don't have it ready. I'm going to get our song going. Gotta get our song going. Where's it at? All right, guys. We got it. I will see you all very soon. Until next time, as always, stay awesome.
I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Yeah. Did it die? Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die?
Whatever you want, I'll be whatever you want. Just tell me you love me or not, whatever it costs. I know I'm talking a lot, there's something I gotta get off. Don't wanna be this no more, I don't wanna drink no more. Always gotta do the most, thinking that I'm insecure. Really should've listened more, but I don't of course. I'm an asshole, I'm a good guy, I'm your best friend, I'm the worst type. Tell you everything that you heard right, just so I can fuck on the first night. Feel like I'm losing hope, running from coast to coast. I don't know where to go, this all I've ever known.
I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die.
No,
Did it die?
wait,
Did it die?
wait.
Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die.
Won't die,
Did it die?
wait,
Did it die?
wait.
Did it die?
My aunt think I'm perfect, I know I'm not. My mama be worried, I told her stop. They know I did drugs and think that I'm off. Little do they know I never could stop. My manager hate when I'm pulling up late. Back on my bullshit, she think it's a phase. I got relations I gotta maintain. I'm two different people, my side and my main. Yeah, I'm sober, I'm an addict, I'm a lowlife, I got habits, but I refuse to be average. Really so tired of acting, don't know what I miss no more. Too bad you don't hit me more. I'm bad when I get too bored, careful what you wishing for.
I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own